You are sitting on the edge of your bed. Your phone screen is glowing in the dim morning light. It is Saturday. Your muscles ache, your back is stiff, and you feel a dull throbbing behind your eyes. You spent your entire Friday night packing cardboard boxes and carrying heavy furniture down 3 flights of stairs because a friend needed help moving. When they asked, you did not hesitate. You said, "No problem, I've got you." But now, you are looking at their Instagram story. They are at a sunny brunch spot, laughing with other people, holding up a mimosa. And you are too exhausted to even make coffee. You feel this cold, sharp sensation sinking into your chest. It is not just physical tiredness. It is the quiet, heavy realization that you just spent the last drop of your energy on someone who barely noticed the sacrifice, while your own life sits entirely empty. This is the exact moment you come face to face with the nice guy trap, or more broadly, the chronic people pleaser's dilemma. You have spent your entire life believing that being good means being endlessly available. You operate under the silent assumption that if you just give enough and swallow your own inconvenience enough, eventually people will protect your energy the way you protect theirs. But the brutal truth is, when you never say no, people do not see your generosity as a precious gift anymore. They see it as a baseline. They see it as a utility. You slowly become an emotional convenience store, open 24 hours a day, where anyone can walk in, take what they need, and walk out without paying. And you are the one left sweeping the floors at midnight, wondering why you feel so incredibly alone. Why do we do this? What makes us sacrifice our own weekend for people who would not do the same for us? On the surface, it looks like kindness. But if we pull back the layers, the engine driving this behavior is rarely just unselfish generosity. Underneath the automatic yes is a deep, quiet terror of conflict. There is a lingering fear that if you say no, the other person will withdraw their affection, or worse, they will suddenly realize they do not actually need you. This does not come from nowhere. It is a survival mechanism. Many of us learned very early on that being useful was the safest, most reliable way to secure love and belonging. Perhaps you grew up in an environment where your needs were treated as a burden, or where you were only praised when you were fixing things. If you are the person who always helps, who never complains, who absorbs everyone else's stress without a word, then nobody can ever throw you away. You anchor your entire sense of worth to your utility. You believe you only matter as long as you are doing something for someone else. But the emotional cost of living this way builds up like a slow, toxic leak. It creates a quiet, rotting resentment inside you. You end up angry at the people you are helping, frustrated that they keep asking for so much, and even angrier at yourself for lacking the courage to stop them. You start feeling invisible, trapped in a cage that you built with your own kindness. Think about the everyday ways this shows up. Think about when a coworker asks you to look over their messy project at 4:50 on a Friday afternoon. You are completely drained, but you see them look stressed, and before your brain can consult your own exhaustion, your mouth just opens and says, "Sure, send it over." You betray your own boundaries before you even realize what is happening. Or think about that one friend who only ever calls when their life is falling apart. You sit on the phone for 2 hours, absorbing all their chaotic anxiety while your own laundry piles up. You hang up feeling hollowed out, carrying a weight that does not belong to you, but you tell yourself you are just being a good listener. You tell yourself this is what friendship looks like. But here is a compassionate truth you need to hear, and it might sting just a little bit. Giving until you are entirely empty does not make you a saint. It makes you a casualty. You are not protecting your relationships by doing this. You are actually suffocating them. Because eventually, all that suppressed resentment will find a way out. You will start withdrawing emotionally. You will become irritable, distant, or passive-aggressive. You will burn out so completely that you will have absolutely nothing left to give, not even to the people who truly matter, and certainly not to yourself. You are treating your emotional energy like an infinite resource, a bottomless well that will magically refill itself. But it is not. You are running a massive deficit, and your body is keeping the receipts. There is a different way to look at this, and it changes everything. It is time to start looking at your energy through the lens of an emotional budget. I want you to imagine that you wake up every Monday morning with exactly 100 emotional coins. That is all you get for the entire week. Every single interaction, every task, every worry costs coins, doll. A deep, fulfilling conversation with a close friend might cost 5 coins, but it also pays you back 10 in warmth. A chaotic, stressful meeting at work costs 20 coins. Listening to someone vent for the 5th time costs 30 coins. Helping someone move heavy furniture all night when you are already tired? That costs 50 coins. Half of your weekly budget gone in a single evening. When you are caught in the people-pleasing trap, you are recklessly spending coins you do not actually have. You are taking out high-interest loans on your own mental health just to keep other people comfortable. You are living in a state of emotional bankruptcy. To fix this, you have to start tracking the leaks. You have to decide where your coins are going before someone else spends them for you. To actually do this in real life, you have to start by choosing just 3 core priorities for your week. Maybe this week, your priorities are wrapping up a specific work project, spending quality time with your partner, and getting your sleep schedule back on track. These are the things that get your coins. Everything else, every sudden request, every minor crisis that belongs to someone else, has to be evaluated against those 3 things. If a request does not fit into your emotional budget, you cannot afford it. You have to cut the leaks. And that means learning the terrifying, beautiful, deeply necessary art of saying no on all. The reason we struggle so much to say no is that we think it has to be a massive, dramatic confrontation. We think saying no is an act of aggression. So when we finally try to do it, we overcompensate. We write a panicked 4-paragraph text message endlessly apologizing, inventing elaborate excuses, and practically begging for their forgiveness. But a boundary does not require an apology. A boundary is just a fence. It is not an attack. It is simply a statement of what you can and cannot do. The most effective way to protect your emotional budget without feeling like you are being cruel is to use a short, neutral statement combined with a mild alternative. You do not need to explain why you cannot help them move. You do not need to justify your exhaustion. You just say, I cannot help with the heavy lifting this weekend, but I would love to bring you guys some pizzas when you are done unpacking. Or, I do not have the capacity to take on this extra project today, but I can look at it next Thursday morning. Notice the subtle shift in that language. You are not rejecting the person. You are simply managing the resource. You are telling them, I care about you, but my store is closed right now. I cannot sell you what you are asking for because the shelves are empty. It takes practice to speak this way. It will feel incredibly uncomfortable at first because your brain is wired to expect disaster the moment you push back. But you must let that discomfort sit there. You must learn to tolerate the guilt of saying no because that guilt is temporary. The exhaustion of always saying yes is permanent. Let us go back to that Saturday morning. You are sitting on the edge of the bed, staring at the Instagram story, feeling that familiar heavy resentment pulling you down. Now imagine if the night before, when that friend texted you asking for help with the move, you had paused for just 3 seconds. Imagine if you had looked at your emotional budget and realized you were already running on empty. Imagine taking a deep breath, feeling your heart race in your chest because you are so scared they will be mad, and typing a simple message. I am completely wiped out this week and need to rest tonight, but I hope the move goes smoothly. You hit send. You put your phone face down on the nightstand. The guilt washes over you immediately, hot and suffocating, because that is what happens when you set a boundary for the very first time. The old voice in your head tells you that you are being selfish, that you are a bad friend, that they will never speak to you again. But this time, you do not try to fix the guilt. You let it sit there in the room with you. You take a breath. You close your eyes. You go to sleep. And the next morning, you wake up. The sun is shining. Your muscles do not ache. Your weekend stretches out in front of you, completely yours. And you realize with a profound sense of quiet shock that the world did not end. Your friend still moved their boxes. They still went to brunch. They survived perfectly fine without your sacrifice. And more importantly, you survived without abandoning yourself. You protected your peace. You kept your coins. You realize that your worth is not measured by how much pain you can endure for other people. You are allowed to be tired. You are allowed to be unavailable. And for the first time in a very long time, you finally have enough energy left to just be yourself.